Happy Monday. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Monday night practice. Happy International Women's Day. Sending much love, respect, care, good vibes to all female identified humans out there. I'm glad that you are spending your day, your evening with me. And if you're watching at a later date, still the same good vibes and love are headed to you. So, how are you guys doing? I mean, I'm just imagining. Yep. Actually, when I pictured my eyes and when I closed my eyes and pictured yoga class, I actually pictured that we were at Ruse, just like tucked away in the brewery, and that I asked you guys, and there was like all sorts of responses and like really great beer. So, yes, hopefully you can close your eyes and picture your favorite yoga and adult beverage location, and we can just have a really great moment in our minds. Well, I'm Seville. If you haven't practiced with me before, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Our playlist tonight, actually, here's the thing. I had an entirely different playlist in class, etc. And then I guess I didn't realize that today was International Women's Day, and then the social medias were like really amping me up, and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot. I'm a sucker for a theme, as you know. I'm like, I cannot just have a whatever playlist. So I made a new playlist, a new class to celebrate our International Women's Day. So I hope you enjoy it. I tried really hard to incorporate Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Let's see, what else? Spice Girls. And let's see, I'm Every Woman. But it was just a little too tricky, and I couldn't find any amazing covers that would be like, we're doing a yoga class, we're not at a dance club. So just know that after class, maybe you should listen to those songs because I dedicate them all to you. But anyway, so if you're playlisting, the playlist is in the description of the class as well as in the chat. So you might want to pull that up. As always, this class is whatever you want it to be. So you get to say yes to all the things that you want to say yes to, no to all the things that you want to say no to. If you want to just cozy up and take a little nap, pre bedtime nap, yeah, you feel free to do that. If you need to really move some energy around, feel free to kick your own butt. But let's get started laying on our backs. Again, if you're playlisting, we'll just press play. And we are actually going to get started in that beautiful constructed rest pose. So you'll have your knees bent, feet are planted on the earth. Bring the feet out a little bit past hips width, far enough apart that you can easily rest the knees on each other and feel really supported there, that the legs can kind of rest and relax against each other. And we're going to start by bringing the arms out to a T, feeling really broad across the wingspan. Taking a couple breaths here. And if you really love this moment right here, feel free to stay. We're going to reach the arms up to the sky. Doesn't matter which arm is in front, we're just going to give ourselves a hug. Maybe you wrap the hands toward the shoulder blades. They don't have to touch, it's just that intention. And making sure that the elbows are moving away from the throat, making sure you still have lots of space to breathe. And start to tap into your breath. Noticing how the breath is moving in the body. Seeing if you can start to round out the breath, making it a little more fluid, a little more easy, and a little more intentional. As we settle here and start tapping into that breath, we'll start to tap into an intention for our practice. The intention that I'm going to offer for our practice is just think of a trait, an attribute of a lady that you admire. Maybe it's bravery, maybe it's strength, maybe it's patience, kindness, acceptance. And allow that to be the focus of your practice. Maybe your mantra, your kind of mind's eye will be focused on those traits, those attributes, maybe a phrase. And let's reach the arms up toward the sky, remembering which arm is in front. And we're going to bring the arms back out to that T, allowing the tops of the hands to press down into the earth as the heart presses up toward the sky. Just a little gentle heart puff. And we'll reach the hands back up to the sky, and whichever arm was on top last time will now be on bottom, and give yourself that beautiful little hug. We'll take a couple more rounds of breath here, checking in to see where the body is at tonight. Noticing if there's any spaces or places in the body that might need a little extra love, a little extra breathing, a little extra patience. And just being aware of those spaces and places as we start to move the body and the breath. And we'll reach the hands up to the sky. And we'll bring the knees apart from each other, bringing the feet about hips width distance apart. Let's give our wrists some love, rolling the wrists around one way and then another. And we're going to bring the heels of the hands into the very tops of our thighs. So right where the thighs connect with the hips, that's where the heels of our hands are going to hang out. Then we're going to start to actively press the heels of the hands in toward the legs, almost as if you're just trying to press the thighs away. Breathing deeply. This decompresses the low back, also kind of opens up some digestion moments. So if your tummy starts to gurgle, that's okay. I know for me, I did a lot of sitting today at work, so this is just oh so dreamy on my low back. Staying here for another breath. And we'll release. Let's hug that right knee in toward the chest. Allowing that right hip crease to deepen. And we're going to press the right foot up toward the sky. Feel free to keep a nice bend in that right leg, depending on how it's feeling. And with your next breath, let's press the right foot toward the front of the mat. We're going to get a little different with our movement today. You're going to imagine that your right leg has now become a frog leg, and you're going to turn the right toes out toward the right as you bring that right knee out and up, and then bring that right knee back in. Then we'll press the right foot forward, and then frog leg, right knee out and up, and then one more time, pressing the foot forward, just creating some space, some movement in the hip. But you know how I do. We're going to flip it and reverse it. So let's bring that right knee in, and then frog leg out to the right. And then we'll press the foot forward 2 more times. Just creating kind of little cute hip circles, a nice fluid moment of movement, if you will. And we'll bring that right knee in, hug it in. And let's bring that right foot right on down to the earth. And we'll hug the left knee in toward the chest, allowing that left hip crease to deepen. And let's press that left foot up toward the sky. And when you feel ready, we'll press the left foot forward. And then turn the left toes out as you frog leg, the knee up and in, and then we'll press the foot out. Frog leg, not only is it a verb in this situation, we're frog legging the leg. It's a technical yoga term if you really need to know. It's not, guys. I'm making this up. And then let's flip it and reverse it. Let's bring that knee in, send it out to the side, and then push the foot forward 2 more times. And you can really do whatever you want with the hands and the arms. And we'll bring that left knee in, hug it in. And we'll bring the left foot to meet the right, keeping the knees bent. Let's reach the arms up to the sky and reach them back behind us, getting nice and long in the top body. We'll stretch long through the right side, reaching the right fingertips a little further back, and then over to the left side, almost as if you're kind of climbing a ladder with the top body. And now let's reach equally long. There we go. We'll go with it. Between both sides of the body. And from deep in the belly, start to press the spine down toward the earth. The belly button pulls down toward the spine. We're going to reach the arms up and then toward the front of the mat. And the head and shoulders are going to come off the earth. So just a cute little crunch here, but make sure that the neck is not doing the work here. Just like super chill neck, as if you're resting in like this perfect little pillow moment. And let's lower it down. We'll reach the arms up and back. With your next exhale, engage the core. And slowly start to bring the head and shoulders off of the earth. Check back in with your cute little cloud pillow. And let's reach back. And one more time. Exhale to lift. Now we are going to come all the way up. Your version of coming up. So if you're like, my core is ready to do this, and you just like pop on up, perfect. If you're like, my core, not so much. That's why we have elbows. to help push us up like that. We'll keep the feet planted as we reach the hands forward and then up, finding length in the top body. And then we'll start to slowly sneak the legs out in front of us, making sure you're being super kind to your hamstrings. So if things feel pretty tight, please keep a nice, juicy, generous bend in your knees. You can't really see because my legs are blending in with my back, but there is a nice, juicy bend. And then let's start to deepen that hip crease, both hip creases, as we start to fold forward. And we can bring the hands down onto the earth. If you want to, you can hold on to the top of the mat kind of as leverage to help propel the heart forward. We're not super concerned right now about how far forward we can bend over the legs. I just really want us to focus on deepening that hip crease and pressing the heart forward. Feeling the shoulder blades move toward each other, feeling the collarbones broaden. And we'll rise up. However makes sense in the body, we're gonna come up and over into table pose, hands and knees. The wrists are going to come underneath the shoulders. The knees are going to come underneath the hips. Nice, strong, active arms and hands, making sure you're not dumping into the shoulders. And with your next inhale, let's drop the belly, sending the heart forward, finding our cow pose. Exhale, we'll round the spine, tuck the chin, finding our cat pose. And continue to follow your breath here as you flow through these two shapes. If it feels awesome to hang out in one pose longer than the other, feel free to do that. Or if it feels awesome to move in a different way, feel free to do that. Our main purpose right now is to just bring some movement to the spine, connect the breath and the body. So however that makes sense for you. And next time you come to cat pose, we're going to pause there, really tucking the chin, and we're going to come up onto the fingertips, doming the hands, and taking a couple moments here to really breathe into the space in between the shoulder blades. And let's flatten the hands, finding our cow pose. And then we'll start to find our strong table back. Belly pulls in, heart reaches forward, crown of the head reaches forward. We're going to send the right foot toward the back of the room, toes stay on the earth. Then we're going to bring the right foot directly out from here. I'll show you this way. So right leg comes out to the right side of the body. We did this with Mickey. I don't know what is time anymore. Recently, we did this in Mickey's class and I really enjoyed it. So we're going to do it in this class. So leg is out. So we have kind of a gate pose in our legs, but then our top body, we're going to come into puppy pose. So we're going to walk the hands forward to wherever feels comfortable and then start to let the heart melt down toward the earth. And let's start to walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. We're going to send the right toes back. And we'll hover the toes off of the earth, keeping the belly pulled in. Stay nice and strong and active here. And we'll bring the right knee to meet the left. Let's drop the belly, send the heart forward. Coming into cow pose, exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, cat pose. One more time. We'll start to find that strong table back. We'll send the left toes back, and then we'll sweep the left toes out toward the left, planting the foot. And if this feels awesome, stay here, or you can start to walk the hands forward, sinking the heart down any amount. I'll tell you what, my left hip is super cranky today, so we're staying up. And we'll bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, and we'll sneak the left toes back, and we'll hover the toes if you'd like. Belly pulls in, heart reaches forward, nice strong active leg. And we'll bring that left knee to meet the right. Let's bring the big toes together. Let's bring the knees apart. We're going to sink back, finding our child's pose. And if you and child's pose are not friends tonight, that's fine. You can always come to a comfortable seat, or you can come to table. But if you are in child's pose and the head is not reaching the earth, maybe you grab a prop to make a cute little pillow underneath your forehead, or maybe you stack the hands to allow the head to rest. And as always, this is my formal invitation to each and every one of you to come to this pose as often as you want or need. It's a beautiful pose. So take advantage. And from our child's pose, let's rise up, finding our table pose. Start to move a little bit. How's that sound? We're going to tuck the toes, keep a nice strong table back, belly pulls in, crown of the head reaches forward, and boop, hovering table. Boop means knees come off of the earth. And let's start to press the hips back toward the heels, keeping the knees hovering off of the earth. And then we'll press the hips up and back, finding our downward facing dog. And from down dog, we'll bend the knees, look forward, and glide forward, finding our plank pose. Hips come up and back, finding down dog. And we're going to bring the knees down to table. If you're like, I came to get my butt kicked, keep the knees hovering. Get wild with it. And if the knees are not hovering, let's bring them back up. Let's bring the hips back, finding that crouch, and then press the hips up and back, down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, glide forward, finding plank. Hips up and back, down dog. And we'll roll forward, finding our table or hovering table, your choice. Now let's bring the knees off the earth one last time, crouching back, pressing the hips up and back, finding your down dog. We'll roll forward. Oh, just kidding. We're going to bend the knees, look forward, glide forward, finding plank, and then hips up and back, finding our down dog. We're going to hang out here in our down dog. And from down dog, if it makes sense in the body, right foot reaches up and back. Then we're going to bend that right knee, bringing the heel in toward the hip. And then we'll start to roll that left hip open toward the right edge of the mat, finding a scorpion down dog. And then we'll square the hips, however makes sense in the body. That right foot is coming forward, finding our low lunge. Pull the belly in, shine the heart forward. We're going to rise up, Finding our crescent pose. And let's reach the arms forward. We're going to take that right elbow and bend it back, finding your best Katniss Everdeen or your best Merida or any other lady archer. Then we'll reach the right hand forward. Then we'll pull that right elbow back and reach the right hand forward. One more time, pulling it back. Feel free to stay here. Or if you'd like to extend that right hand back, we'll do that. And then we'll start to reach that left hand forward, and then we'll pause. Then let's bring that left hand down onto the earth. Right hand reaches up toward the sky, feeling really broad across your wingspan. And a right hand comes down onto the earth. Does not have to be graceful. We're going to step back, finding our down dog. And from down dog, we're going to roll forward, finding our plank. We'll bring the knees down, shine the heart forward, and let's lower down. Tops of the feet are planted on the earth. We're going to shrug the shoulders up, back, and down, finding our little baby cobra. Bringing it on down. However it makes sense in your body, we'll find our way back to downward facing dog. And from down dog, that makes sense in the body, left foot reaches up and back. Left heel comes towards left hip. And then you'll start to open up that right hip toward the left edge of the mat, finding your scorpion down dog. And we'll square the hips, however makes sense in the body. That left foot is coming forward. Belly pulls in, heart reaches forward. And we are rising up, finding our crescent pose. And this time, actually, let's bring our arms down alongside our body. And feel the heart lift up toward the sky, but also feel those ribs knit toward each other. Imagine that the arms are super heavy to help bring those shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll reach the hands forward. Find your best lady archer as you pull that left arm back and bringing it forward. One more time, pulling it back, bringing it forward. This time you'll either hold it or you'll start to extend the left hand back. Finding your revolve twist. Then we'll start to reach that right hand forward and hold. Kind of like suspended in this in between. And we'll bring the right hand down onto the earth. Left hand reaches up toward the sky. Feeling really broad across the wingspan. Left hand comes down onto the earth. Does not have to be graceful. We're stepping it back, finding our down dog. Option to move through the vinyasa, to get a drink, to chill, to do whatever you need to do. And if you're vinyasa-ing, we'll roll forward to plank or modified plank, lowering down, opening the heart, and pressing back down dog. And however makes sense in the body, let's make our way forward to the top of the mat, finding our forward fold. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Just like that strong table back. Then exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, let's rise up and reach up. And hands to the heart. One more time, just like that. We'll add on though. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, let's fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise up and reach up. And let's bend the knees. Sink the hips back. Find our chair pose. And know that you are, as always, the boss of your own chair. You know, sometimes there's not a room for us at the table, so we have to bring our own chair. So you get to choose what type of chair you'd like, ladies. And keeping the legs in chair, let's reach the arms forward. Left arm is going to sweep down and back, down and forward, down and back. Finding this revolved top body, still chair in the bottom body. And can you keep this twist, but we'll bring the hands to the heart. We're getting real technical, really fancy and convoluted. We're gonna sneak all the way into that left foot and step that right foot way back, finding our revolved twist with the left foot back. Or however it makes sense in the body to get there. So finding our revolved twist. And then we're gonna open up warrior two, facing the right edge of the mat. Inhale, let's reach up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Let's make this a little bit of a dynamic movement. So follow your breath as you lift and lower. If you want to bring the arms all the way down and then all the way up, that's beautiful. Whatever makes sense in your body. And next time you bend that front knee, let's pause. Turn that front palm up toward the sky. And we're going to reverse, but instead of that traditional backhand along the back leg, we're going to bring it in front of the body. Almost as if we're doing ballet arms. And we'll press back warrior two and over to side angle, still keeping kind of that ballet arm, if you will. Back to warrior two and reverse. Just follow your breath. Again, making this nice dynamic movement. And one last time, coming over to side angle. Pressing back warrior two. Let's cartwheel the hands down onto the earth, stepping back, downward facing dog. Option to move through the vinyasa, to get a drink, to do whatever you need to. 5 breaths to yourself. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. And from down dog, left foot reaches up and back. However makes sense in the body. That left foot stepping forward. Rising up, finding our crescent pose. Inhale, we'll straighten that front leg. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart as we twist toward that front leg, finding our revolved crescent pose. And then we're going to sneak that back leg forward, sneak attack, twisted chair. That's what we'll call it. And we'll untwist, press through the soles of the feet to reach the arms up toward the sky. And exhale, let's fold. Inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up and reach up. Exhale to the heart. One more just like that. Inhale, we'll reach. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, we'll rise up and reach up. You guessed it, chair pose. You bring whatever chair you want to the table. Ooh, my chair, a little wobbly today. We'll reach the arms forward. That right arm is going to sweep down and back, down and forward. One more time, down and back, keeping that revolved top body as you keep chair legs. Then we'll bring the hands to that prayer pose, keeping the twist. Sneak the weight into that right foot as we sneak that left foot back, finding our revolved crescent. And now let's open up warrior two, facing the left edge of the mat, making sure you have those strong, stable legs. Let's find that dynamic movement. Inhale, reach up to the sky, straighten that front leg. Exhale, lower. Follow your breath. Again, you have the option to bring the arms all the way down and then all the way up. One more time. This time as we lower down to warrior two, we'll hold. Front palm turns up toward the sky, and let's reverse, but bring that back arm in front of the body. Coming back through warrior two, over to side angle. And let's just flow with that. Follow your breath. One more time through. One more time, come into that side angle. Pressing back warrior two. And we'll cartwheel the hands down onto the earth. However it makes sense in the body. We'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Option to move through the vinyasa, to hang out in down dog, to go to child's pose, to drink your beverage. You do you. Or maybe you dance it out a little bit. We'll meet back in our downward facing dog. If it makes sense, right foot reaches up and back. Right foot steps forward, however many steps it takes to get there. We'll rise up, finding our crescent pose. Inhale, let's straighten that front leg. Exhale, hands come to the heart as we twist toward that front leg. Keeping that twist in the top body, we're going to sneak the left foot forward, finding our twisted chair. Untwist, press through the soles of the feet to reach up to the sky. And exhale, let's fold. Beautiful. Inhale, let's halfway lift. Exhale, let's fold. We're going to hang out here in our forward fold for a couple breaths. So if you want to find your favorite version of a forward fold, make your way there. You can hold on to opposite elbows. You can hold on to the backs of the legs. Maybe you hold on to your big toes with your peace fingers. Whatever is perfect for your forward fold. Or maybe you have a drinking forward fold. Cheers. It's just a little croy, but cheers nonetheless. And however you're in your forward fold, let's release. Press through the soles of the feet, but we are going to slowly rise up inch by inch by inch, stacking the spine. The head is the last piece to stack. Inhale to reach the hands up to the sky and hands to the heart. We're going to root through the right foot and we'll bring the right knee up toward the chest. Now, if you're like, no, I'm not standing on one foot today, just keep the toes on the earth. Hands can stay at the heart. You can bring them to the waist or the hips. We're going to start making those hip circles. So we're going to frog leg again. Your balance will be wobbly while you frog leg. That's okay. And if you really love these hip circles, feel free to keep at it. Or maybe next time you frog leg, you then plant that left foot and you find your tree pose. Maybe you start to grow your branches. Maybe your tree is dancing in the breeze. Or maybe you bring that left hand to rest on the left thigh and you reach up and over with that right hand. We'll bring both hands back up to the sky. We'll bring that left knee up, hands come to the heart, and we're going to move through Warrior 3, just a moment of flight. And we'll bring the left toes down onto the earth. Taking a breath here in our crescent pose. Feeling the shoulders move down, the heart lift up. The belly pull in. And then we're going to open up, not to Warrior 2, but to Goddess pose. You know, we can't do a ladies' day class without Goddess pose, right? So we're doing it. So, woo, toes point out, heels bump in. Let's inhale the hands up to the sky and exhale to bend the knees. So just like chair pose, you get to decide how deep you're going in your Goddess pose. So let's inhale, reach up through the top body. Exhale, we'll bring the left hand down onto the left leg. We'll reach up and over, come back to the center, and over to the other side. Lengthen through both sides of the body, and then open one side. One more time, each side. Hands reach up to the sky. Let's push through the soles of the feet. Straighten the legs. And let's parallel the feet. Bring the hands to the hips. Press the heart up toward the sky. And let's start to fold forward. So with this wide leg forward fold, this is a choose your own ending, if you will. So you can sway side to side. You can take moments to walk the hands over to one foot and then the other. You can reach the hands back behind you. Or you can just keep it really simple and just have the hands resting on the earth as you kind of just hang upside down. And can you check in with your feet and see, are you rolling to the outer edges of the feet? Are you rolling on the inner edges of the feet? Can you find all four corners of your feet and actively press evenly through the feet? And we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, finding kind of a table back, a halfway lift. Pull the belly in, shine the heart forward. We're going to sneak the hands onto the hips, and we'll rise up. Hello. Take a moment, get reoriented with being upright. We good? We good. Let's pivot the feet toward the front of the mat. Bring the hands onto the earth. And let's step back, finding our down dog. Option to move through the vinyasa, to hang out for 5 breaths, to do whatever the body and the breath are needing. And from our down dog, however it makes sense in the body, we're coming forward, top of the mat, forward. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale to rise up and reach up. And hands to the heart. We're rooting through the left foot this time. Right knee comes up. Again, you can always keep the right toes on the earth. Hands can rest wherever it feels good. But we'll start to draw those circles with the knee. And when you feel ready, we'll find our tree pose. And maybe you grow your branches. Maybe that right hand rests on the right thigh as you reach up and over with the left hand. We'll come back upright. We'll bring that right knee up. Hands come to the heart. A moment of flight. Coming through warrior 3. Finding your crescent pose. Woo! And from your crescent pose, we're finding our way to goddess pose. Inhale to reach the hands up to the sky. Let's bend the knees. But we're going to bring the hands onto the thighs this time. And with your next breath, let's drop that left shoulder down, pressing back to the center, and then drop that right shoulder down. Back to the center one more time, each side. And let's press through the soles of the feet to rise up. And if you love just a normal forward fold, go there. If you want to try something new, then keep the feet turned out slightly. Keep rocking back to my heels. Bad choice, Seville. And we're going to fold forward, but with the toes pointed out slightly. And then we're going to bend into that right knee and walk the hands over to that right leg. Maybe you sneak that left foot out a little bit more. Maybe come up onto the left heel. And we'll press into that right leg, straightening it, walking the hands over to the left side, and then extending out that right leg. Push into the left foot as you come over to the other side. So feel free to follow your breath here as you move side to side. And maybe you want to try the look ma, no hands. And you just use the strength of the legs to press yourself from one leg to another. And we'll come back to the center, Finding that forward fold. And we'll stay in this forward fold. We're just going to kind of manipulate and move the body around. So that way we're in a forward fold in the middle of the mat. And let's start to bend the knees. We're coming to a low squat, just for a breath. Low squats are not your jam tonight. Forearms on thighs, coach pose, sports teams, things like that. And however it makes sense in the body, boop, we're coming on down. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together, finding a diamond shape in the legs. We're going to hold on to either the shins or the ankles, and we're going to start to press the heart up toward the sky. Feeling the shoulders actively drop away from the ears as the heart presses up toward the sky. And maybe you drop the left ear down toward the left shoulder. And keeping all of the same length in the spine, we'll bring the chin to the chest and right ear to right shoulder. And chin to chest. Crown of the head reaches up. Go ahead and release the hands. And we'll start to fold forward over the legs. And you get to choose what you want to do in your forward fold. If you want to just round over the legs, do that. If you want to continue to press the heart forward, do that. Whatever the body is needing and wanting, definitely honor that right now. And let's start to walk the top body upright. And we'll bring the hands on either side of the legs. Use the strength of the arms to bring the knees together. And let's start to slowly lower down, inch by inch. Nothing too fancy as we lower down. But let's bring the knees in toward the chest. Maybe you rock a little side to side. We're going to bring that right knee in toward the chest, holding onto it. And we're going to sneak the left leg out to straight, if that makes sense in the body. If that's a lot on the low back, you can always keep a slight bend in that left knee, and then you'll release the bend as we move a little deeper into this pose. And we'll start to pass the knee from one hand to another, frog legging, if you will. Frog legging with the assist. And when you feel ready, next time that right leg comes across the body, maybe you start to gently guide it across the body. And that right arm can either cactus, or it can be in that T shape, or it can even just rest on the body. But can you start to drop back into that nice rounded breath? that intentional, easy breath that you establish at the beginning of your practice. We're going to come back to the center, hugging that right knee in. And we'll hug that left knee in. We'll hug the left knee in as we sneak that right leg out to straight. Or again, if you need to keep it bent for the first little bit, that's fine. And when you feel ready, start to pass that knee side to side. And when you feel ready, that left leg is coming across the body. And recognizing without judgment that each side is a little different. So this side may feel a little more stuck. Maybe it's across the heart or in the hips. Or maybe this side is that good side. And we'll bring that left knee back in, followed by the right knee. Bringing the head and the shoulders off of the earth, giving yourself one more squeeze of the practice. Taking a deep breath in, squeezing a little tighter. And with your exhale, start to release everything onto the mat. Finding your way into our final resting pose, however that will look in your body tonight. And before we start to drift to that beautiful Shavasana land, taking one more moment to reflect on your intention, to reflect on that attribute, that mantra, that quality, and allowing that to settle within the breath, the mind, the body, so that as we move forward, we can continue to lift each other up, strengthen each other, be each other's best allies and advocates. And let's start to deepen the breath, inviting movement back into the hands and the feet, gently rocking the head side to side. As you feel ready, gently make your way up to a comfortable seat, bringing the hands to the heart. The light within me honors the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. And cheers. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me tonight, for um, just partying with me on a Monday night. Oh, thank you, Lori. Uh, I just love the compliments about my playlist. I probably should be doing work when I am teaching, like the day that I teach yoga. Sorry, I have a yoga brain. Basically, what I'm saying is I would just work on my playlist during work, and I don't actually do tons of work. So I'm glad that it's appreciated because I don't know if my boss would appreciate it. But thank you guys so much again for joining me tonight. I always love feeling your energy throughout, up and down the I-5 corridor, if you will. Thanks, Lori, for not telling. So you know where to find us. We have our Wednesday midday class. We have our Saturday classes. We have our second Sunday class with Mickey. It's a longer class, kind of a little retreat that you can definitely sign up with Mickey. Same time, same place as we usually do. And I love you all. You're wonderful. Happy International Women's Day to all of my female identifying humans.